and welcome back to Pip Explores. This week we're discussing footwear for underground. So there's a lot of debate in the caving community about what type of boots you should wear caving. And the main two competitors are hiking boots and wellies or rain boots. I actually use both of these, but I use them for two very different types of caving. So this week I'm going to explain to you why I use each boot and in what circumstances. So we're going to start by talking about wellies or rain boots. These are just your run-of-the-mill black muck boots from Walmart. They cost about 15 bucks. So wellies' initial advantage is that they are in fact waterproof, at least up to the top of your boots. But even after water gets in, your rain boot kind of holds that water there so your body can heat it up and there's less movement in that amount of water. Rain boots are also way easier to clean and decon than hiking boots ever will. You just spray them off, wipe them down with a Clorox wipe, and you're good to go. Personally, I really like using wellies when I know that there's going to be water in the cave, but not a lot, because if there's a lot of water, the likelihood that your rain boots are just going to be completely full and you're going to be picking up like 10 pounds of water with each step is pretty high. For some caves that I know there's going to be water in, but not a lot, water levels such as boots to knees, not any higher, I'll wear wellies because not only is it going to keep my feet drier for longer, but in the grand scheme of things, I'm going to end up being warmer that way. Wellies are also easier to take off at the end of a caving trip than hiking boots, and I really like them when I'm doing a lot of scout trips. If I'm doing a bunch of trips, it's really easy for me to shed them, wipe them down, put them back on, and be ready to go for my next trip. So those are some of the main reasons why I really love wearing my wellies. So now let's talk about the situations in which I would prefer to use my hiking boots. So these are my hiking boots. They're actually also waterproof up to the top. However, their top is a lot lower than wellies. One of the main advantages of using a shoe like these is that they typically have a much better tread than a rain boot would. This is because these are actually designed to keep you steady on that rough terrain, which can come in handy when caving. One of the big reasons why I use these is because they have a lot better ankle support. So if I'm doing a more technical cave, a harder cave, not an intro trip, but a cave where I'm going to have to be moving in very specific ways, I want that higher level of ankle support to prevent injury, which is one of the reasons why these will come out. I also prefer to use hiking shoes when I'm doing vertical work. If you're a caver and you have a frogger or a rope walker or any type of system where you're trying to put something on your foot, it is much easier to get your stirrup or your foot loop around a hiking shoe than it is to get around a rain boot. Now, it's not saying that it can't be done. I've seen cavers who only cave in wellies manage just fine, but personally, if I'm doing vertical work, I want a little more mobility and a little more stability, so I'm going to use a hiking boot. Of course, the major drawback, which I already talked about, is that these are a pain to decon. Now, if you don't care about your shoes, like me, you can just throw these in the washer, but it will do horrible things to the shape and structure of your boot. So I do not recommend it, but these are much harder to decon. Although not impossible, as you can tell, there's not a speck of mud on these, and I've caved in them a lot. So they're not impossible to decon, still decon your boots, but they're just harder. So that is the big caving debate. What kind of shoes do you guys wear caving? Again, I use both, just in very different circumstances. These are my technical, this is my watery beginner trip. That's all we have for this week. Make sure you tune in next week for more caving content. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We have new videos every Tuesday. Don't forget to find us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all at Pip Explores. Check out our website at pipexplores.com, and we will see you later. Bye, guys.